Welcome to the funnel. My name is John Shane. I'm president of Alignment Group. This is episode number 242 of the funnel. Help your sales team beat the summer blues. Before we begin, I want to remind you to head on over to alignment-group.com/the funnel, subscribe, and we will send you the show notes weekly. Today's agenda. Woohoo! Yep, that was me cheering. Lay of the land, the good leads, and be social. First of all, I want to apologize for the Summer Blues podcast coming sort of in the middle of the summer. It depends on how you look at it, because the first day of summer, as of this recording, was a few days ago. So technically, we're not that far into summer. This probably should have come out in the spring. But it just sort of hit me a couple of weeks ago that I should do a podcast, and I moved it to the top of the list of about 15 that I have in the bank that I'm getting ready to record. Mostly because it is hot here and humid. I have yet to get to the beach, which is very upsetting. My youngest is sitting around with the summer blues, watching me record today. So I just thought this might be a good topic to discuss for sales, because there's a lot of distractions this time of year. Businesses tend to slow down quite a bit because there's a lot of vacation time, et cetera, et cetera. And we want to figure out how to make the best of this situation. Now, I do have a friend who is a sales rep that actually does the vast majority of his business in the summer. So he's very busy. So there are businesses that come alive in the summer and provide you with great opportunity for sales. But for the most part, I think there is something to be said for the summer. Now, most managers and VPs will walk the line in business owners. There is no such thing as the summer blues. There is no such thing as a slowdown. You need to hit your number in the summer the same as you do in the winter, spring, and fall, and all of that good stuff. And I tend to agree with the part where you need to set yourself up for success. But there's no denying that, especially here in the U.S., mid-June through mid-August can be pretty rough, okay? And even through the end of August, through Labor Day, people tend to just kind of shut down a little bit. And after Labor Day, it picks up just at a rapid pace. So you need to do a couple things. One is kind of get through what's happening in the summer and drive business there, and also set yourself up for what could be an outcome of this work in the fall. So it's really not time to panic. I always say walk before you run, and some of this is about connecting and setting up for the future, maybe even driving some of the summer business as well. We have vacations, right? We have time that we're scheduling with family. Kids, if you have kids, they're off of school. If you're not that far along in your life yet, all your friends are doing fun summer things, right? Everything's outside, sitting outside, having drinks, to water sports and mountain climbing and hiking and biking. It's all that fun stuff that's outside for those of us who live with the four seasons. And so there are distractions for every one of us, and it's not just your prospects, it's you as well. So it's all about keeping your team focused and driving towards the number. So let's talk about lay of the land. What I mean by lay of the land. I've talked about pipeline review and forecast review in the past, okay? And I've talked about how you should do that on an ongoing basis. It's especially important leading up to the summer and into the summer to see where your pipeline fits and what kind of forecast you have. And you can tell right away if something's amiss. So I suggest you do that if you haven't been doing it on an ongoing basis. And I mean a real pipeline review and a real forecast review. A pipeline review is all about, right, getting stuff in at the top end, making sure you're doing all of the activities to bring that to bear. And the forecast is what you're going to sell within this immediate time frame. So if you haven't implemented that, I'd say you'd start pretty soon. I'd get ahead on If I'm a manager, I want to get ahead on the rep and the prospect schedule. So let me talk about that. Your reps are going to take some time off in the summer, right? Most of them do. They take vacation time. So it's not unreasonable to say to them, listen, I need your schedule for the summer, the days you're going to take off. And if you don't have it exactly down, just give me some idea of what you're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to take the 4th of July week and the week after, and I'm going to take a few Mondays off or a few Fridays off for long weekends at the beach. So I would do, for me, back in the day, I'd do a Friday, Monday a few times in the summer. So I'd get 4 days. And then around the holidays of Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day, I'd add a day or two. Sometimes that 4th of July week, I'd take the whole week. Because I'm a beach guy, right? So I spend a lot of time fishing. I spend a lot of time on the beach. I do a lot down at as what we call the shore. Because it's where I grew up. So for me, it's important to have that time. And I would let my boss know that I was doing that. Even when I was VP of sales, these are the days that I'm not going to be around. What's just as important is for your sales reps to reach out to their prospects and understand their schedule. Okay, so it's June. What's happening in your world? What do you mean by that? Well, we are coming up on summer. Do you have any plans for the summer? Are you taking any vacation time? Are the folks who are making the decisions taking any vacation time? Maybe it's a committee. Obviously, you want to be talking to the decision maker. But the point here is for the rep to understand when their prospects are out of town and on vacation. So they can have conversations leading up to that, and they can reach out after the vacation. You want to know any upcoming events. There are really good events in the summer that your reps can attend and you can attend. So you want to lay out those schedules and understand if there are any conflicts. So if you have something that's really a really nice event that you want your reps to attend and they're going to be off on vacation, you need to find someone to substitute that, and you need to work through who's going to be there, who's going to attend, the outcomes you're looking for. I have a whole training program I do on events and how leading up to the event, how you can prepare yourself for better outcomes. Most people just show up at events, they grab a drink and food, and they sit there and they talk. I'd like to see a lot of prep work leading up to it with specific goals in mind. So if those events are in the next couple of months, you want to know if you're going to have people that can attend that and what that looks like. The schedules and the event thing is really, really, really important. Why? Because this is the opportunity in the summer when things are slow. Let's say the events, opportunity to take advantage of really good happy hours, sports outings, any kind of social events that could drive business. You want face-to-face networking. Okay? Build that lead pipeline that could help you in the early goings in the fall. Okay? So, the next one is the good leads. Okay? I don't think it's a bad idea to revisit old dead leads. You never know. You never know. What I mean by that is just go back and uncover some stuff that you just didn't get anywhere with and just and give it a shot again. Now, of course, I'm referencing the good leads. I'm referencing Glengarry Glen Ross when there was the big battle for the good leads. But my point here is that sometimes, you went through the email prospecting chain of, where you got an inbound lead and you did the 5 to 7 emails. And at the end, you said, okay, this was probably not a good time. And then you dropped it. I know this happens a lot. And you never gave it another thought again. Go back and look at those and fire up those leads again. Fire up those emails and phone calls. See if you can get something cooking. If I'm a manager, I'm putting a huge emphasis on prospecting. Okay? Why am I putting a huge emphasis on prospecting? You should be doing it anyway, right? But the point here is that you don't lay back and say, well, it's the summer, and there isn't a whole lot I can do about that. People are on vacation. Fine. Take your time and do an additional prospecting. Get out there even more, whether it's email prospecting, phone calls in person. Now, the inbound marketing folks will tell you it's very disruptive to cold call and that the way to go is warm leads. And I agree with all of that. And I think you should be setting yourself up through LinkedIn connections, through event connections, so you're reaching out to people that you've met previously, and it's not just picking up a phone book and dialing. But there's no way you're going to hit your number just on inbound alone, so you're going to have to prospect. And quite frankly, if they haven't done that, that's on them and on you. So I would force the issue with cold calling and warm. I'd say, fine. If you haven't done that, then you need to find prospects. Now, some of you might say, well, that's a little crazy because that doesn't work very well. No, it doesn't. But at least it starts the ball rolling. And then I would, with the events, that's where you're doing the warm leads. Okay, you're doing that. Change your messaging a little bit. Change how you're approaching. If it's not working, try something different. Try a summer email. I would go to all of my customers and look for additional referrals. Let me say, well, we do that. You should. You should have a referral program in place. Like, I'm saying things that should already be in place, but I know a lot of companies just don't have it. Most companies don't have a formal referral program in place. That this is a requirement on the team when something's been sold to go back and get a referral from that customer. Sometimes we ask for it, sometimes we don't. I'm going to tell you, it can be a closing technique. Hey, if I give you this in pricing, will you give me two qualified referrals? That's another story for another day. What I'm saying is go back to your client list and start hitting them up for referral. Hey, how's your summer going? We got any good plans? Listen, I need a favor from you. Can you help me out with this? I'm looking for a couple of people maybe that you might know in your group that might be interested in what we sell, that could take advantage of what you've taken advantage of. And ask for it. That's a really nice way to get the ball rolling, a nice warm lead. Okay, and then you can reach out. Say, hey, John referred you to me, said you might be interested in what I need. Upsell. If you have the opportunity to upsell, this is the perfect time to go back to all of your customers and look for ways to drive additional business. Why? Because we don't do a really good job with that. It's hard to believe. A lot of companies don't think. You sell the big thing and you don't upsell. Or you don't sell the 5 or 6 little add-ons. You do that with every customer that you sell, 5 or 6 little add-ons, maybe that adds up to a deal. And it's not that hard to do. Once you're in, you're in. Make it easy for them to do business with you. Make it easy for everybody. I put meeting link on my video here. What I mean by that is I use the HubSpot CRM, and I have the upgraded tracking, HubSpot sales, the email tracking thing. And one of the things that's included with that is a really nice scheduling tool. I used to use Acuity, and that was fine. And I have different scheduling links for different things that I do. For example, people who subscribe to the funnel, they get a free coaching call from me. Didn't know that, did you? Now you do. I don't know why I haven't said that before. That's on me. It's bad marketing. Did you get a free coaching call? So there's a link in there. You just click the link and schedule the time. I have specific times on my calendar for that. I have like 5 or 6 different links for different things, like an hour meeting, half-hour meeting. And I send people the link. Why do I send them the link? Because it's a heck of a lot easier than going back and forth 10 times on when somebody's available. So if you make it easier for someone, you just throw the link at them and say, hey, just click this and schedule a time that's best for you. Now, there are a ton of scheduling tools out there. Like I mentioned, Acuity. I really liked Acuity. And I do really like the HubSpot sales one. You can customize the look and feel of it. The colors or the company colors. I put my pictures there. I can set up multiple calendars. It's so easy to manage. It's linked to my Google Calendar. So when I put something on my Google Calendar, like the 4th of July is a holiday, it doesn't show up on the meeting link. So that's really, really nice syncing. It syncs and all of that good stuff. So it's so easy to use. That's my plug for the HubSpot tool. Okay. So we're going to revisit the old dead leads. We're going to put a huge emphasis on prospecting. We're going to change our messaging up a little bit. Maybe in the summer, you got to make it more about fun stuff. Look for referrals, upsell your existing clients, and make it easier to do business with you by providing the meeting links. Next, I'm going to tell you, be social. Okay? There's tons of stuff. Social selling. I can't remember the guy's name. Larry, maybe. Larry has the Social Selling Academy through Daryl, Amy, and that group. They do all kinds of training on social selling and LinkedIn. Okay. You might need that. Your reps might need that. But my point with social selling is there's a lot of stuff out there with it. A lot of stuff you can read on it. And maybe your sales reps aren't adept at it and they're not very good at it. This is the time to push them on that. Twitter, LinkedIn, blog posts. You can schedule out the posts. I schedule out my tweets, my Facebook posts. I've done okay in LinkedIn. I'm not, for my business, you'd think it would be a lot. I don't spend a lot of time in there. It's whatever works for you, okay? I get a lot off this podcast. I get a lot off the the website, events, things like that. But if they're not good at this, then this is the time to start. Write some blogs. Post them on your website, tweet them out, put them on their LinkedIn page. However they're driving business, social selling is key because it gets the message out to folks. And they can schedule it. Free tool, Hootsuite does it for you. If you don't have the huge HubSpot marketing platform, or SharpSpring, or any Marketo, or any of the other ones out there. Okay? Why social? Because you reach a larger audience in a short amount of time. I do this podcast because I like it. I have a lot of fun helping people, and I get a lot of, I get good feedback. Some of it's not so good, but I get feedback on it, and I enjoy it. But it's part of me being social. It's part of me getting the word out of what I can do and how I can do it. I reach, 10,000 plus a month and growing. So for me, I can, in one recording here, reach that many people. So social selling is critical to driving business. And if they haven't done it, now's the time to implement it. Why? Because maybe it is a little bit of a lull. And you can show the value and the benefit and the outcome of it. It's not hard to write a blog post, and I'm terrible at writing. Terrible. I'm more of a verbal guy. So if they have some help in the office, tell them to record it and have somebody write it. I do a whole thing on LinkedIn, and I show my clients how to use it and what are the best practices on it. I can show you how to schedule posts and stuff. I have folks that do that. But the point here is that you go where your industry is located. So if there's some forums and things like that, that's where they should go. Social selling is critical. Now's the time to do it. Summer blues. Okay, so I've probably given you things that you're like, yeah, I know. I get it. Okay, we all run into this summer thing. I'd look at the whole and I'd say, what do we do well as a team? What am I driving with as a manager? And how am I doing in that regard? And then look at maybe some of these other things that you're not doing so well. Maybe I'm not pushing the social selling. Maybe they're not doing a whole lot of that. So let's drive a little bit of that. Okay? It could be prospecting. It could be, we don't do a very good job of upselling or seeking referrals. So you look at those things and you drive that in the summer. There's no special secret sauce. People go on vacation. Companies slow down. But you can have the conversation about making a decision now. So when things get really busy in the fall, you're not dealing with this. That's changing the messaging. So I'm giving you things that are pretty obvious, but maybe people don't think about as an alternative or as something that you can drive a little bit harder in the summer. Thank you for subscribing to The Funnel, alignment-group.com/the funnel. Subscribe. Again, get the show notes and a free coaching call. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter @ShayJohnR, LinkedIn. Contact me, jshay@alignment-group.com. I do really want to hear from you. Alignment-group.com. I don't always respond the same day on email. It might take a few days. But I do respond, and I do get back to people because it's important to me. And I try to help. So definitely reach out. Again, thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep filling the funnel.